For over 20 years, the sports world has been locked in a bitter civil war. We argue over Grand Slam titles, weeks at number one, and who would win a prime-on-prime match at center court. But while the fans are busy counting trophies, Roger Federer and Novak Djokovic have moved the game to a completely different arena, the global economy. In 2026, the definition of the GOAT has evolved. It's no longer just about who can hit the perfect slice backhand. It's about who can own the company, the land, and the culture itself. This is a transformation of the athlete from a high-paid worker into a global conglomerate. Roger Federer retired years ago, yet today he is the first tennis player in history to officially cross the $1.1 billion net worth mark. He is the undisputed king of the equity model. Novak Djokovic, however, is the man who shattered the prize money record while still in his prime. He is the king of the resilience model, building a diversified empire of wellness and real estate that targets the future. Today, we are dissecting the two most successful financial strategies in tennis history. One built a luxury brand that can never die. The other built an empire that owns the science of longevity. By the end of this video, you'll know who the real financial GOAT is. 2026, we have to look at the most famous divorce in sports history. In 2018, Federer did the unthinkable. He walked away from Nike. For 24 years, the swoosh was part of his identity. But when Nike refused to give Roger ownership or allow him to keep his RF logo, he didn't just find a new sponsor, he found a new philosophy. He signed a massive $300 million deal with Uniqlo, but the fine print was the genius part. Because Uniqlo doesn't make performance tennis shoes, Roger was free to invest elsewhere. He put an estimated $50 million into a struggling Swiss shoe company called On Running. In 2026, that $50 million gamble has returned over 20 times its value. As On's valuation soared past $10 billion, Federer's equity stake became more valuable than his entire 24-year career of prize money combined. This is the equity model. It's not about the check you receive today, it's about the percentage of the company you own tomorrow. While other players are chasing $2 million checks for winning a tournament, Federer is waking up to millions in stock growth. But Roger wasn't content with just shoes. He understood the power of scarcity. Through his agency, Team 8, he co-created the Laver Cup. He isn't just a face on the poster, he is the owner of the event. Every ticket, every broadcast right, every sponsorship from Rolex or Mercedes-Benz, Roger gets a cut of the house. He has successfully transitioned from a player to a platform. Novak Djokovic looked at Federer's path and realized he couldn't compete with the Swiss luxury image. So he built an empire based on what made him the greatest: survival. In early 2026, Novak has officially cleared over $192 million in career prize money, the highest in history. But it's where that money goes that matters. Novak is the king of the vertical model. If he uses a product to stay healthy, he wants to own it. He took a 40% stake in Quant Biores, a biotech firm seeking non-vaccine treatments. He launched Sila, his own wellness and electrolyte brand, and became a lead investor in Waterdrop. He isn't just an endorser for Hublot or Lacoste. He is a strategic partner helping design the products. His 2026 Hublot collaboration, a watch made from recycled rackets, didn't just sell out. It proved that Novak can move the needle in the luxury market just as well as Roger. But Novak's real shadow wealth is in global real estate. He has quietly accumulated over $100 million in properties. From luxury penthouses in New York's Soho and Miami's 87 Park to massive developments in Serbia and Montenegro. Novak understands that while tennis fame is temporary, land and health are the ultimate currencies. He is building a wellness ecosystem that includes academies, hotels, and tech startups. He isn't waiting for a royalty check. He is actively managing a venture capital fund that bears his name. So when we put these two side by side in 2026, who actually has the better strategy? Federer's wealth is vertical. It is built on the towering success of the On brand and his luxury image. It is less work, but it's dependent on the world still wanting to buy $200 sneakers. If the brand cools off, the net worth fluctuates. Djokovic's wealth is horizontal. It is spread across biotech, food, media, and real estate. It is more complex and requires a massive team of experts to manage, but it's incredibly resilient. Even if one of his tech startups fails, this is the difference between being a brand icon and a venture capitalist. There is also the time factor. Federer became a billionaire in his 40s, long after his peak. Novak is closing in on that status while still competing at the highest level. This gives Novak a massive advantage in compounding his wealth over the next decade. There are already rumors in 2026 that Novak is looking to follow the Jordan model and purchase a majority stake in a professional sports team, possibly a football club in Europe or an expansion team in a growing league. The real question for you isn't who has more zeros in their bank account. It's which philosophy you value more. Do you want the passive, high-margin equity that comes from being the face of a global brand like Federer? Or do you want the active, high-control leverage that comes from owning the businesses you believe in like Djokovic? Federer chose to be the asset. Djokovic chose to be the aggregator. Federer became the brand. Novak became the boss. So I'm putting the question to you. If you were starting your career today, would you take Rogers' $500 million shoe stake or Novak's diversified tech and property empire? Let me know in the comments. I'm reading every single one. And if you want to know how the new generation, like Alcaraz and Sinner, are already using these exact blueprints to build their own fortunes, make sure you hit that subscribe button to the Athlete Capital.